It is freezing up here. It's freezing. So let's take you back outside in the cold. I'm Sophie Doyle. We're here at Churchill Downs and we're going to take you for a tour on the backside. We really didn't pick a good, nice, warm day, did we? Right behind me you can see the Twin Spires, which Churchill Downs is famously known for. We're going to take you downstairs and see some of the famous barns that are around here at Churchill Downs. So here's the first barn, just off the backside, Mr. Famous, Jack Vanberg, whose barn has now been taken over by his son Tom. And of course he was notoriously known for winning with the 1987 Kentucky Derby winner Ali Sheba. You have his name at the top, the race that he won, and then it would be followed by the owner, the trainer and the jockey. The next barn I'm going to take you to is Wilmot Barn. As you can see, he's got quite a few plaques on his wall right now. How are you doing? Good, thank you. I'm bringing them along and showing them your plaque on the wall. Oh! This is one of the Derby favourites, Improbable, for Bob Baffert coming back in from his tour in the Paddock. It's pretty spectacular, really, that you get to be this close to them, that when they're coming in and out from the track and any of their workout routines, that you're able to see them. And it's great for the horses that they can kind of take a chill out and relax and walk home different ways, pass through different barns. The next barn I'm taking you to is a very famous barn that Bob Baffert ships into. Here we are. You can tell they've got a different gravel on their ground too, so it stands out a bit more. This is their plaque wall, which is pretty full, as you can see. Right in the middle there you've got home of the Kentucky Derby winners, Silver Charm, Real Quiet, War Emblem, and then of course the most two famous recently, American Pharoah and Justify. Another one of the most famous barns here on the backside of Churchill is Mr. Wayne Lucas. He has his American flag right outside. Just like Bob Baffert's barn, it's very presentable. The Derby Museum have actually recreated this wall because it's very unique. His background was being a cowboy with the rodeo, and he's instilled this into his barn, and you know, he lives by the cowboy code, as so to speak. So I'm going to take you through for a little peek so we can have a look. You see how neat the barn is in here. 20 Breeders' Cup champions, 4 Kentucky Derby winners, 6 Preakness winners, 4 Belmont winners, and 14 World Champion training titles, along with 3 Horse of the Year champions. This is one of the only barns that has his own garden. I'm going to bring you into Larry Jones's barn. And this is where my filly Street Band for the Kentucky Oaks is housed. Hey buddy, this is Indian. Hey, hello. Hi, you're sweet. Street Band is actually taking a nap. She is asleep in there, resting, which is what you like to see with a big classy filly when they've got a big race coming up. And especially after she's just had her morning workout for her final prep workout, that she's back in her stall and she's resting, taking it all in. It's nice to see her chilled out, relaxed, and she literally really is sleeping in there. So it's nice. So I'm going to take you on a tour of how Street Band and I make it to the racetrack. Instead of road to the Derby, we'll take you on the road to the track, the way Street Band and I would make our morning walk. We really didn't pick a good, nice, warm day, did we? Kentucky, you dress for all weather. Literally all weathers. When Mum asked me, what should I pack? I said, everything. There is nothing you don't want to not bring here and say, oh, I didn't think it was going to rain. I didn't think it was going to be cold. I didn't think it was going to have the sun shining. When you're on a horse like Street Band, it's actually pretty nice to be on a gravel. It's kind of quiet. It's a little bit more narrower before we walk up to here, and then as you can see it's pretty open, and of course you're right under I think I call it the Jumbotron, huge big screen. I mean, when horses first see it, it's pretty daunting on them, but once they get used to it, it's fine. So we'll take you down here onto the track and you can see what we see as we walk out here. the majority of the horses will come on here. There is actually 3 gaps, the one that we saw down by Mr. Wayne Lucas's barn, and there's also another one down there at the other end of the track by the half-mile pole. So we start on the front side and we'll race down past the grandstand into the first turn. We'll come to the 3/4 pole there, the red and white pole, and this is when the race is taking shape. You've got your position, you're coming around here down the backside, and this is where it gets kind of quiet. This is when you get to think, how's my horse traveling? Who's around me? How are they traveling? Who looks like they're going pretty good? Is anybody looking like they're not going to quite make it to the next turn? If they're not traveling too good, then you want to move out of their way or have a few steps in front of you and plan, okay, he's not the horse to follow to take me into the turn. I need to maybe do something different. Yeah. Okay everyone, we are going to go over to where the Twin Spires are right behind me. We are going to take you to the front side and let you see what happens when we get ready for a race and when the horses are over in the paddock and when the jockeys come out to ride the big day. Here we are at the front side of Churchill Downs. As you can see, we're right next to the Kentucky Derby Museum and the beautiful statue of Barbaro that is always in front of Churchill. This is the jockey's kitchen room. Clearly we have a lot of guests that come up here, and especially for Kentucky Oaks and Derby, this place will be so crowded. We also have 2 computer screens, and the main one that you see that's on right now is especially set up for us jockeys that we can go on and watch replays. So there is no excuse for any jockey not to do his homework. If he wants to watch any replays, go back on races and do the research that needs to be done some days. So that's a fantastic piece of equipment for us that I'm on there quite a lot. In here is the jockey's workout room, our gym, but here we have our main little horse in the facility. He probably gets the most workouts done. You can probably see the marks of where we use the saddle. So we'll get on to the horse and we'll start exercising, using him as our exerciser and equipment for the day, and start to warm up. We're very fortunate to have a facility like this put in here. Cool, so let's take you back outside in the cold. We are going to take you over to the paddock, to where we will be meeting our horses. As you can see, 17 stalls in the paddock here at Churchill. In American racing here, all their numbers are colour coordinated, whereas back home in England, if it's black saddle towels, it's black for everybody. You know, they keep it pretty plain. And so the 9 is turquoise, his saddle towel will be turquoise as well. And then you get the Twin Spires right behind us. So let's head on out to the track. We're going to take you down through the tunnel here. So we are now in the winner's circle, which has been newly done as of last year. That's the Derby circle over there. Right, well, I'm going to bring you across the track now, and we're going to take you over to the Derby winner's circle, because they have their own official winner's circle. And of course you also get to see the nice stretch run down to the finish here. You get to see how big the crowd can get with all the seating that they have. And of course this is my favourite part of the track, where I get to go and win my race, which I have done quite a few times around here. I'll take you across. It is like a horseshoe, and this is the winner's circle for the Kentucky Derby winner, and all of his connections will walk up on each rostrum on either side, and they'll stand at the top there and be presented the huge big Kentucky Derby trophy. And as I'm over here for the very first time, I'm going to go and walk up there and see the view and what it's like if you were the trainer, the owner, or the jockey lifting that up. And you get to stand down here and lift the trophy, be cheering to the crowd, and of course right in front of the Twin Spires. It's a pretty spectacular view. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Thank you for watching and being a part of this. We'll see you soon and hopefully in that winner's circle.